alerted on a drawer in an office manager in another actually at middle school, in the office manager's drawer of her desk, and there turned out to be cough syrup in there that the mother brought for the kid who was actually sick. So we were just walking by it and she hid it. Like, okay. They're going to be disoriented. They're not going to see straight. Their speech is going to be slurred again. You notice that there's kind of a pattern here with the symptoms. They're going to look like they're intoxicated. Motor skills and numbness of the fingers and toes, you're not going to necessarily notice that unless they can't hold something. Bath salts made a big splash a couple of years ago. Okay? It's not actually bath salts. This is all, sorry, that's the scientific stuff. They basically started around 2007 in the UK. It was marketed as a research chemical. You can get them online, smoke shops, gas stations. They sell them. It's legal. It's not actually bath salts that we take a bath in. You can get it over the internet. It's sold in various forms, capsules, powder, or tablets. Some of the name brands are up there. Facts about it. In 2010, they had 298 overdoses in the country. In March of 2011, they had 1,241 reported to the Poison Control Center. I researched this last week. In 2016, January through October, they've had 324, so it's going down. And hopefully it continues to go that way. It has the same ingredient as MDMA. It doesn't show up in urine tests. The effects can go from 4 to 6 hours. And the DEA banned 3 substances in 2011, citing an imminent threat to public safety. This thing can be snorted, smoked, or injected. Agitation, hallucinations, chest pain, suicidal thoughts. The blood pressure is going to go up. Hypothermia, the same thing, they're going to get cold. Behavior changes, paranoia, they're not going to sleep. Now here's different methods and what they do with it. In snorting it, you got meth, cocaine, and pills because you can crush up pills. Smoking, meth, cocaine, marijuana, and pills. Injecting is usually meth, cocaine, and pills. Inhale, the inhalant stuff, anything that has a gas that'll project it. And then orally is just about everything: alcohol, meth, cocaine, the weed, and the energy drinks. Some of the smoking paraphernalia you're going to find for marijuana. You're going to find glass pipes, glass or metal pipes, bongs. Bongs are what refers to as a water pipe. It uses water on the bottom. They smoke it through the top. Lighter, syringes, foil, papers, things like that. You can also, now, there's your apples. Yeah. They put a hole in the top of the apple. They put it on the side, and then they eat 3/4 of it and throw the other part out. That little pipe on the bottom in the center is actually about 1.5 inches or 2 inches tall. That's it. Get it. The little cigars, they take out the tobacco and put the marijuana in it. We've got the crack pipes here. This drawer right here is a dean at a continuation high school's drawer. At the end of the school year before last, this was some of what he got. And he's since thrown it away. That's kind of out of place, but okay. Snorting. You're going to want razors there so that you can cut it up. Hey, straws, credit cards, rolled up dollar bills, all right there. The injection, needles, a tie off, anything to tie off your vein, spoon to heat it up, water, and the cotton ball. And they use the cotton ball as a filter to just get the pure narcotics. There's some of the things that can go by orally. I like the little purple thing on the bottom. Methods of concealment, we all know where you can hide it. However, the next page is a little better. Everything on the bottom here is these are advertised years ago as a place for you to hide things in your house to keep burglars from finding. Now they're using it to hide dope. Well, they have been for years. Anything. So, and the administrators here know that if they have a kid who's under the influence, they can't exactly find it. If there's any kind of drink can or anything in there, try to, unscrew it to find the stuff. Some of those signs, you're going to see white powder if they're doing the around their nose or their mouth if they're doing cocaine. Burnt fingertips because they're lighting a pipe close in. The pupils, loss of appetite and weight. Dog getting bored. The eyes are going to sink, and your skin's going to start to look bad. They're going to fall asleep. Cal. They're going to be sick a lot. They're not going to have energy, and their teeth are going to go bad. The next picture is, there's your toy, get it.
The good stuff's in the bag.
It is. She just wants to run around a little bit. You've been good. Stay good. Here's some people that have used amphetamines. You can see how quickly it can turn a person. This one is a lady over 10 years. What happened to her? And these are all mugshots. Okay. The next shot, if you don't like to see really graphic things, I'll tell you when the next shot is going to come off. It is a graphic shot of somebody who smokes meth. And I've taken it off. I'd rather look at this. Okay. And now, talking about some of the things that we found here. Last time I was here, the top picture on the left there, it was in one kid's locker, except for the baggie of marijuana. The baggie of marijuana was actually found on the kid when they got him out of class, so that we could ask him about his locker. Get your toy. Dog's gonna go crazy. This picture on the bottom, it's kind of dark, but there's a little container. Oh, you can't even see it. There's a container here. It's an empty container of marijuana. That's about 1/8 of an ounce of marijuana that was found in this person's locker. And honestly, we were walking out, we were through. And Tracy and I were walking out, and the dog hit the locker. And I would have been really surprised if she didn't put that amount in there. Here's some stuff that was found in the bag. There's not for some reason when I minimize the picture. Hey. Yeah. For some reason when I minimize the picture, come here, I lost part of Cal. Well, I lost part of the top, but this right here is a marijuana pipe bracelet. This is, which end are we at? Yeah, one end is that's where you put the marijuana in and you light it and you suck it out of this end right there. And it's an actual bracelet. It was on one of your students. We talked about edibles. This was one. All of these are one student. Not all of this is one kid. Individually, these are one student. Okay. Each picture represents one student. The picture on the bottom left was kind of interesting because that sent us on a little bit of an investigation, and I'm not going to get too deep into that, but that's a scale used to weigh out if you're selling. Okay. It's the same scale that I use when we find stuff.
They're asking which one's a scale?
The scale's on the bottom left picture, the mirror-looking thing, right here. That's actually a scale. And there's a vape in there, and there's a pipe.
Are those poker chips?
Yeah. Oh, no. They look like poker chips. Those are actually grinders. And they are the size of a chip. poker chip, and it's really small. You know, it's about 2 double. He has them. Oh, that's a small. You have those? Oh, that's another one. Pull straight up. Pull straight out. Yeah, the bottom will come off. There's 2 different. What they do with that is they put the quote-unquote flower of marijuana in there, and they grind it up, and then they put the ground-up part in the pipe and smoke it. There's another edible and another little bit of marijuana that we found. I only showed I didn't get pictures of everything, and if I did, we'd be here for a little while. But once again, and I want to stress the fact here at Birmingham, it is rapidly turning into a preventative program instead of a we're finding it program. I was really surprised. Not the fact of Birmingham, but the fact that it is turning quickly. We've been here 4 times, I think, 4 or 5 times, and it's really not that fast in any school.
So these kids are super smart, right? How can they learn to hide it where she can't find it?
It has to be on them. They cannot hide it anywhere on this campus, or in the bag, or in anything they have where she should not be able to find it. Cat, stop. Okay. Nothing is 100%. It's very interesting. When we certify annually with the CNCA, California Narcotics Canine Association, and every time we certify, there is a blank room with nothing in it. So we walk through the room, and the evaluator, I was done with the room, and I said, the room's clear. And the evaluator said, are you sure? And I said, no, but the dog is. So, you know, do the dogs miss things? I'm going to assume, just because of statistics. You know, there is something that I thought she would have, but that really smells over there compared to what I put out. If you see a kid in class and he happens to be sitting there and smelling his highlighter this way, wonder why. Okay, make a call. Because this is a highlighter and it does work. But about 6 weeks ago, she found it in a kid's backpack, and it's a marijuana pipe. Okay, and I put it out on top of the phone. I thought I'd have her go get it. I had no idea that they were going to bring the stuff in here, and it would create such an odor for her to find. These things are available online for $10. Okay. Now, before I forget, if you guys want to find some of the things that Callie does, if you have Facebook, or I have not updated the Instagram pages in a long time. Callie. Either for the company or for Callie. But if you look up Sniffer Dog 767 on Facebook, you will find Callie. And on Instagram, I haven't updated it in, at least 6-7 months on Instagram, but I've been told that I need to update the company page, so I will. I don't put everything up, because every time she finds a pen cap pipe, which is a cap from a pen, that they put a pencil top in it, and they smoke it through there, you know, I'm not going to put up 100 of those a year. I'll put up one every now and then. Any questions?
So when you were showing the thing, like the beer or whatever, the loco thing, can she smell the alcohol through the can, or do you have to have some?
No, I don't think she can smell it through the can. It's on it. It will be on it, just by manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be on it. And then I think that there are some times where something is sealed, but when they've sealed it, and it's been recently, there's been an odor transfer. I've had it where the dog has alerted on pens and pencils, and it's a transfer odor because they've had it in their hand, like they're holding this pipe, and then they go into third period after nutrition, and it's on their hands, they're writing notes or whatever they're doing, and then we come in there and the dog hits the pen. The dog alerts on the pen. It's a transfer odor. That happens. My favorite one, 2 years ago, my dog that we retired, alerted on the floor, below a desk, at a high school, and the girl had taken her purse with her. And the quality of the marijuana that was in that purse was such that it left a residual odor just kind of sitting there. And when the dog went in and did his thing, and he sat under there, we're like, okay. And we got the girl who was waiting outside, and I was sitting there with an assistant principal, the local sheriff's deputy who was the school cop, and myself. We were sitting there, and the girl walks in and tosses her purse on the table. We were just sitting there and says, may as well arrest me, it's in there. And we laughed, thinking she was joking. Turns out, no, she did have about an eighth of an ounce, which was the amount that we saw from your locker over here, the one on the bottom, in her purse. She was 18, and this was not in LA County, this was up north. And so she was cited for having it on a school ground. But sometimes you get that. That's extraordinary for that to happen. But it does happen.
What are the consequences when?
That's something I can't not address because it depends on the school.
Okay, what school, what are the consequences?
For what?
Marijuana or finding any drug, or does it depend on the drug?
They
Speak to that.
possession, like they have that stuff, is automatic suspension. If they have enough, I think that student was arrested.
For how long?
Along what?
This is the suspension.
Well, it depends. I mean, we can't, it depends on, if it's the first time 1 day, if it's the second time, they get 3 days. And we have a, on campus, we have a drug treatment program, not drug treatment, we have a counseling section they go to for kids who have had more than not arrest, to offenses, violations, thank you, of using drugs.
At what point is the student expelled?
Well, we did expel one student who was selling. Okay, and it has to be progressive. I mean, you know, it's 1, 3, 5. They get to 5, then we would go for an expulsion. Yeah, we have.
It's a 1, 3, 5. It's a 1-day suspension for a first violation, a 3-day suspension for a second violation, and a 5-day suspension with a possible recommendation for expulsion on the 3rd violation. Our school police officer is notified on the first violation. They will note it, you know, second violation, they get a drug court. They get a referral to a drug program through, you know, LAPD, and then depending on how much they have, they could be arrested. If it looks like a selling situation, they could be arrested, they could be expelled potentially. It's very circumstantial depending on what goes on, but at any time, if they're in possession of marijuana, then it's at least a suspension from school with a mandatory parent conference along with anything else depending on the number of violations.
I do know that anything other than marijuana or alcohol is handled by the school police officer. That part.
Yeah, if it's a narcotic, that's immediately to a police officer. Chances are probably 99% of the time, if it's a narcotic, they're going off in cuffs.
And we haven't had,
So,
we
yeah,
haven't
no.
had no
We have not
Not this
found
year,
anything like that
No.
here.
Yeah.
So they're just suspended, but it's not illegal, they don't have a ticket or go to jail or anything like that?
Yes, they can get ticketed
Well,
by a
depends how
school
much they
police
have.
officer. Yeah.
Remember, you know, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you know, it's illegal to have a joint as an adult. You can have a joint in your possession. So it was just like less than, what I'm not sure what the police limit is.
Well,
There were new guidelines that were handed
Yeah,
down to
that's
the
what I was
school
gonna say.
police department.
Yeah.
I have not seen them, I've only been told about them, so since I haven't seen them, I don't want to comment and be wrong. I'd rather just give you information I do know, but the school police chief put down, sent down what will be cited and what won't be and what will be arrested with various things. And like I said, I don't know what they are because I haven't read it, I haven't seen it, and the officers that are assigned here do know what they're doing. So I'd have confidence in them.
Is it an in-house suspension?
No. An in-house suspension?
Yes.
we do
Because they're in-house,
they
they
have
should
in-house
stay on
suspensions, but not for that.
I agree.
That would not be an in-house suspension.
Yeah, I think that would
That'd
be
be
a
more
better. If they're gonna go home and stay, get high, then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
It's like, oh, cool, I'm suspended, let me stay
You know,
home and
Well,
get
not
smoked.
necessarily. That's an appearance. A lot of people, most parents don't want their kids smoking marijuana, you know. They really
Well,
think
not
about
that they don't, they're at work, so.
And they, you know, some parents, I mean, if.
Sometimes the parents contact us and we go in and find all the stuff.
You can't do like an in-house suspension for that on one kid and not do it on the other.
Right.
You have to be, you know,
Consistent.
do things, yeah, across the board. So with that, that's an out-of-house suspension. The in-house suspensions are used for other violations and other things.
Lesser than,
Yeah.
Any other questions for me? Sir?
Well, it's for the staff. I mean, you notice someone who's obviously high. What's the best way to, and the most efficient way to notify Dean or security?
Do you guys have a phone system here?
We do, but obviously, I don't, the only time I.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the phone in front of the kid and go, hey, little Johnny's high.
Right.
You know what you can do? The easiest thing to do is say, hey, can you send your favorite administrator down to me, I need to speak to them regarding something. And the kid's not going to know, because like I'm sitting here looking at a room full of you guys, I don't know, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm speaking.
We
So you're not
sometimes get emails too from teachers.
Yeah,
you know,
well, that's the other
while
email.
you're sitting at your desk,
That
and
would
at
be-
work, at our desk, you know, I get an email on my phone, so I'll check it frequently.
text.
You can
email.
also call the security booth and just say, I need a campus aide to my classroom, and then just quietly say to the campus aide, I think that person's under the influence. They'll take them right then to one of us. Sorry, I was like looking over that. Yeah, okay. So, the emails or that is probably the best way. And don't say anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Well, I'm glad that you had some questions for me and administration too. Any other, when we come into your classroom, don't be afraid to, just let me know, hey, I'm gonna pet the dog, go ahead. The dogs are friendly. Anytime any of our dogs show any kind of aggressive behavior at all, they are immediately taken out of the field, and usually that's their last day. We've only had a couple of incidents where something looked a little sideways in 19 years of doing this, and those dogs were immediately taken out, because we don't want anybody to be anything other than happy and relaxed around our dogs. Okay? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good year.
Thank you very much. That concludes the presentation, since you don't have questions.
Yeah, I think we'll go over there and say hello. I'm gonna go say hello. She's not as exciting. She doesn't.
So, we didn't have this on the map, but she said we didn't get a problem analysis for it. So, she said if you approve it,
I was doing to him when he did to me.
Oh, you're hiding behind me.
I was telling him off behind your back.
I just blocked her out.
Okay, so what?
So, Megan said if you could approve it, so we put the paperwork in, she got it, I just took it out. Back.
Get over here.
What we're selling? No, my president is in the leadership class, so I thought she turned everything in. Oh, okay.
No.
No one else not care.
Anyone else need to?
That's not fair enough for you.
I don't want to wrap in you.
Can we invite her to our next?
I love it when they speak, but.
And then,
Oh, the city of Barcelona. Yeah. Oh, okay. The red and the